What's goody? What's good, everyone? We are live. I see you guys are joining in. Before we even get started, we got like 2 more minutes before we get started. But yeah, just welcome everyone. Session. Definitely. Definitely we'll go ahead and let everyone else hop in, and I definitely will get started here shortly. I do not have music playing at the moment, so just bear with me. So, all right, cool. One more minute until I get started. Definitely will be a pretty to the point session, just like the macro things that's been happening with like BTC and kind of like some of the areas that I'm really looking at. A conservative case scenario and all scenarios for BTC because chats. Have you guys been keeping you guys yourself up to date or as a particular account named Jim Cramer out his pets? Those are very very vital tweets, posts on X that I personally look at every single time because like he's been talking about BTC for yeah. I'm seeing him when he posts a lot post Twitter accounts and he's been talking about like, different prices. He's talking about like like these current prices, support and how like on the smart time frames do see it take another dip. I'm not even sure it could fall into. I mean, a possible scenario. So I've been kind of been looking back and forth on been looking back and forth on Total One and seeing where altcoins are at as a whole. That one I've been looking at. I've been looking at the ETH/BTC that's kind of more like the scenario of these two pairs, but combined into one chart. I've been looking at USDT dominant whole, just kind of seeing how many people, how many investors, or like converting their cryptos into stablecoins. You can see here we found the area that we were looking forward to for the absolute longest. If you guys been part of the crypto calls within Powerhouse, you've known that I've been looking back at these literally for a very, very long time. I would like to say probably started looking at it. It was probably maybe not beginning of last year, but for sure looking at this chart for about 2 years now. So ever since like in these areas in here, probably like, yeah, probably when we're already in here when I first started looking at this particular chart here, is very, very highly anticipated because you down and decrease in percentage. That just simply means that people are cryptos. Ever since this went up, a lot of people were just creating their or just stable coins in general. So this one is really really vital to really look at as we start progress this probably this entire month for a fact, or even this entire weekly candle. So there's to if you guys are actually coming to conference, right? Maybe getting all the sweet treats as far as crypto plays. I know Mike's gonna have his own. I'm not sure how long they're gonna be on Educator, but he's definitely gonna miss everything like projects, entries. I mean, as of now, like we're at prime entries, so that gets ruled out. So what's more better than an entry, right? So definitely make sure you guys are tuning into Mike Sotero's sessions if you guys are actually gonna be there. If you haven't made that decision, you still got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You still have quite a few days left until the biggest conference. There's gonna be some pretty news towards the end, and I am very to see you guys um, quote unquote gatherings. I'm not gonna say too much, but the bat. Yeah. So when it comes to this particular chart here, I am especially time frames. I had marked up like a scenario. So once we really clear something like this, yes, we're starting to get like push new highs, new higher highs each time. So once we can actually get that break below, um, these kind of areas in here, then I would definitely be looking for some aggressive buys opportunities on portfolios. Right. Make sure you guys are really looking at this chart or even have it like a little category saved in your trading view that you can always look back. Right, cool. This is where Tony's looking at, or the exact same thing. Then that's another confirmation. This is quite a bit of a bigger zone. Is not really meant for me like day trading. Pro perspective on just this particular chart itself. Looking really into is the area in here. This buying candles before we sold off. So the area I really want to see is some kind of a smaller time frame distribution, smaller time frame. The main focus for BTC, like even all day on all the charts, and we're like clear the so a lot of the altcoins you guys are seeing right now very close to sweep it. And this is the way that this daily candle at BTC is forming. I mean, I know last call we were looking at sales. We actually got it once time before we sold off. So if you actually took that, shout out to you guys. I mean, even from the zone for current price 13,000 pips. Yeah, let's give or take at current price 13,000 pips. Let's call it there. I know there's like a couple entries that you could have gotten some small like little retracements and catching the continuation to the downside, which were really presentable if you guys were just pay attention and looking at the Bitcoin chart. Time frame chart, I would want to see some sells. Let's see here. And if you want to see this happen, the liquidity that we have here. So we can probably see it at maybe probably even still trade inside here and we'll kind of bounce real quick. It really just depends on everything or just the timing. With the Ethereum, we still got ways to go and possibly even fill in the rest of this imbalance here. For ETH, ways to go. Solana, I think makes some equal lows. Yeah, Solana makes some lows here. I know previously we had some buys, but that's kind of like old analysis. And then yeah, definitely with Solana, still seeing some lows here. Kind of get taken out. But where can I go to next? Probably like 90. I think at one point I did had an announcement somewhere in here. I think this was kind of on like old chartings that I had created. Oh, Cold Too Swole. I like your name. What's good, bro? So with the now, there's like the next possible zone, Solana. You know, in here, a order block, right? So this is something that I will be eyeing reject out of this area here. Wind pump, where do you see Fogcoin going to? I got racks invested. As far as Fogcoin, I'm still in it myself. It's definitely that I will abandon. It is a part of a layer one project. And with layer ones is especially with the right utility, the right use case, everything kind of really falls into place. And what Vitalik had posted. So I guess the founder of Ethereum, he mentioned that he doesn't really see the the overall to layer ones, layer twos. So he didn't really quite see the overall vision anymore. Post that he made on his Twitter account and get the more specifics. He did why and like what to look, I believe. So when it comes to like finding like the actual categories of funds, our favorite coins that we've been talking about is inside of the layer ones. Filecoin is one of them. XRP is one of them. Sorry, list for you. We have the same zones. Greatness. Yeah, I mean like it is. We've been really been locked in perpetuals, and I'm pretty sure everybody's really been understanding how based all or just like the overall personalities and like happens to get really similar entries everybody else. I mean, that's something I've been seeing like on like the whole Twitter community out there. It like crypto community is because there's like a lot of people that really look at it when it comes to like smart money trade. There's a lot of same kind of zones in a way, same thought process. All the layer ones, yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum, yeah. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB now. We got Hedera, AVAX, right? So we have AVAX. That's something that I know I have Litecoin with the lows from October 10th. AVAX. I know we got Ton. Scroll down. We have ICP. Cool. See, layer one. That's 81. Wait, 811,000. Yeah, 811 million in market cap. So it actually is below a billion market cap. But where can it go? $20, I think. I believe it was $20. I definitely will look back into it. I think going on to that CoinGecko is making my laptop off. Next thing, yeah, I'll definitely quickly look at Filecoin since you did bring it up. What's good, everybody? Hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful nights tuning in. So as far as net entries, weekly. So with exits, I'm really looking at this swept out. Like for sure, zones I'm looking at is getting you either target these highs here, right at, or even target this high here at 12. But even this thing is at $1. You definitely do your due diligence, right? I know since we're reaching lows of lows, and you probably can see one of the areas that I had marked up for a while now, around $16, 16, 20 ish. So anywhere inside the zone would be good for taking profits. But chart of like, oh, where was it at before? You know, that's crazy returns if like everything aligns itself to do exactly what it did before. I mean, it's been at these levels before, and how long it take to even get up there. So let's say we came back into $2.55 to all the way to potential. I think these are the highs recorded. 9,000% return. So crazy, but um, at conservative, and then probably some other take profits around 16 off the weekly previous buying candle before we sold off. So that's kind of like the area. Other projects that are some of them that will be playing the same kind of TP. So next thing I'll go back onto Ethereum. So with Ethereum, definitely want to see some more pullbacks, which will cause a lot all to pull back even lower. I definitely will transition to Chainlink and the rest of the altcoins, see where they at. But as far definitely have some portfolio entries stacked at certain prices here shortly. So as any kind of ideas, it'll probably just I because I know it's been the one that's been leading the pack as far as bags, retracements. I don't want to try to even get into entries on Ethereum yet, just Ethereum. I just don't want the overall volatility with BTC to influence and push higher than expected that more than I anticipated. So I'll definitely will buy pairs according to the movements of the market, which is BTC, and I will definitely look for any kind of opportunities on the day time frame. Right, I'll be looking for some potential sales inside of what we do. So tomorrow, Wednesday, I haven't heard any news, but I know there is MicroStrategy's earnings coming up pretty soon. Tomorrow, I think his. I know there's a lot of earnings coming up. So I'm looking at Forex Factory. Let me see. There we go. Just when yeah, we have the employment change. Then Thursday. Yeah, so tomorrow, I will definitely want to these loads get ASAP. The reason being, as we start to really pull back lower, we're in a very tight spot with drawdown when it comes to already positioned. I know some of you guys are just wanting the market just to stop bleeding, but this is really where prime entries are really a lot of people are really taking these prime with alts. Definitely been a part on the back end as far as like article why did BTC or just assets in general pull back. There's always a cause and effect for everything. So let me see here. So ETH, same kind of scenarios. I'm going to do all this. This is invalid. There we go. So BTC, I would want to see pullbacks in here. Same kind of scenario. You could possibly even take some sells. It depends on how aggressive this thing wants to pull back. Here, 3 hour, 2 hour. I could definitely see it come back up here, to be honest. This, that's if we kind of really, allows. I mean, I know Solana just likes to just wick everything and just, but just to follow, then there can definitely be a factor which it could probably back into here. It's up for here. So already have, yeah, definitely will be setting some alerts up in there. Why should I even know that we're trying to go? Well, there's still all this liquidity gathering up. As your indication that whether it will continue going higher or lower, then you see that. Especially when it comes to like there's so much selling cryptos, then you can see that's been building up, causing everything just to there's a chance you'll probably just see it just fall somewhere zones and possibly even doing something like this, you know. Perfect scenario, right? But just always look for worst case scenarios and best case scenarios every single time. Because if you're always drawn to one perspective, then really good. If I look at the BTC, same thing when it comes to like the liquidity. So on the smaller time frames, I believe on the 5. Doesn't show the same thing on here, but I think it was on Ethereum or this. I think it was Chainlink that I was looking at earlier. Yeah, it was Chain earlier that kind of showed the exact same thing. Where is it at? Had it here somewhere. Had it edit. Yep, there you go. There you go. Same thing. The reason why I see Chainlink going lower here for when that's on the call. But if you have questions, definitely let me know. Other coins, and I'll go ahead and do like a little quick overview I'm seeing at the moment with now targets, right, for chain. That's one of the things that all the charts with Chainlink, I've noticed, when huge candles, right? Huge liquidity candles, huge liquidity captures. Not time that you probably see the actual liquidity candles in the actual data for some of these exchanges. Here on Chainlink, I'm using the crypto sort of all the assets that I look at. But if you look at Coinbase, you see that there is You don't really see at all, right? Why is that? Remember when whenever there's a huge influx of selling pressure, those times where Coinbase suspended withdrawals, deposits, or like let's say the lag when people are trying to buy in, log into the app at all. I know Kraken was like that. So a lot of changes, that's you don't really see because the Coinbase couldn't keep up with the prices of crypto. To see which is the most accurate to go to formulate my own bias. It definitely does apply to everything, to be honest. It applies, some whether you guys are trading on main pairs like Bitcoin, Ethereum, it varies. It varies on the data. Linear on some more time frames. When you're market of charts, whether you're looking at Bitfinex, Bitstamp are like the oldest ones. I think Bitfinex this has the older data feeds. You can look back into when it first got started, basically. Bitstamp, same things, kind of like up there with Bit. Then you have Binance. Some of the Binance accurate, you probably see a lot of weird there. And then yeah, for that one, for BTC, like Ethereum, Solana, just like the main ones. Of course, look at each of the data feeds. But hopefully I hope that's you for everyone that's here. So coins, biggest thing biggest thing. So chart, I never want to see it into this institutional candle here on a day time frame. But if all things decides to just sweep lower, then I do see everything just come back these lows here. Weekly day. Not so worst case scenario, and it is worst case scenario. Which ones do you cause the max amount of pain, max amount of fear? That is really where I tend to go to. Which I know some of you guys, I know I'm thinking about lower too as well, but a lot of people, are not going to be able to. Well, that's true because max the most amount of reward is that. So if you look at the fear index, same thing applies. I haven't looked at for crypto since we're at fear, cryptos overall, and you can see how I think we've been lower between one from like last time I seen it. It wasn't reached. I think during the October liquidation, I think it was for sure like at 21 or the 20s. Last time I seen it at, but anything higher than that, then I probably wasn't aware of. But if you've seen it lower than 20, right, on extreme fear, like, I want to see what was the highest you guys seen. If you guys were paying attention to the fear grid index, I look at it sometimes, but informational bias of just I don't really look at it to dictate my analysis. It's just something just to look at and see where things sentiment. So even inside here on that's something that's definitely waiting. I mean, we finally swept the liquidity that we're looking at now, and it out according to everything that comes to like liquidity, capturing liquidity, and now it's marriage, local bottom, right? It wants to predict the bottom. Everybody wants to predict the top, but nobody even executes on these kind of opportunities. Either exhaust their capital or they just hesitate. Whether they tend to stick to one price and like, I'll enter once it gets here. Next, it flies off behind, which of course is. But how can you actually get rid of that, or how to fix that issue? Is just really just having that and just have zones that you plan on going either aggressive or conservative, but you really have to really just execute at this point, especially at the lows that these all just executing. And right now, like since I told you guys, in these some of these perpetual buy tokens, Chainlink, I do want to play take some buys in there, Litecoin, see Avalanche. So then I'm looking so when it comes to Avalanche, I've been seeing how it definitely dominates the real world assets. There were like a tweets, right, comparing Chainlink and Avalanche, and it definitely has a huge Oracle, but AVAX definitely has the prize as far as real world. So see this liquidity sweep on AVAX and portfolio entry. I do dollars a pop with AVAX. I definitely do see AVAX hitting $84 this run. All of this highs that I need to get taken out here. Outs, it would be more realistic for $84 to see what happens with alts in general. Yeah, you're kind of seeing like exactly as far as perspective, avalanche. You can see here. So this is the logarithmic tool. Sometimes I look at it for BTC, but it's got a little different perspective on other charts as well. So with ICP, all right, we've seen the volume before, and we'll see it again. And since ICP has actually been holding its ground in these current areas, so I wouldn't be surprised if we actually try to really find an area or stabilize somewhere in here. ICP, I would not be surprised. Notice how other odds really, well, ICP is kind of like really it pulled back just a little bit, but not as much as other layer ones. So what if it will see how we trade inside of ICP around like the $2 range. But who here has been little by little on their fairy coins? That this is where you definitely will see where individuals are at, really having the capital side and just waiting for the optimal opportunities. I have Litecoin. So you see how Litecoin actually officially the lows, and I'm actually curious if so same perfect scenario, right? Where I was wanting to see swept this kind of get swept on October 10th. Question is, will the rest of out there will do the same for our so right off the bats on the 4 hour time frame, I don't see this current area holding here. But I do see this get brush here building up. I'm waiting for just to sweep this and then daily that cool. I mean, since there's not really much data to really go off of with Litecoin, if if it was me, I mean, this thing is. I mean, there's a chance of a reset. Me personally, but if we continue on dancing around here, but it just have all this resting here. It may take a while for most. Typically, it doesn't really like to have those around, depending on the project itself. Depending on the project, the demand, the volume, etc. You see here weekly. Yeah, with Litecoin is I would just see at this point because I know there's still a lot of like lows here, a lot of like liquidity that needs to be swept. So I'm gonna just wait on Litecoin and where it wants to go. Filecoin, Jupiter, we got Pi. So Pi has actually made some new lows. So we haven't really quite cleared the rest of the liquidity here. Same bias has been going down the list as far as new lows getting formed. Once we roll, go down. Caspa, I haven't really looked at it at all. XLM, Ton, that's two. Well, XLM, dots. If you guys want to look at any other charts, definitely let me know. BNB. So with BNB, I do basically like the people that are wouldn't really allow their coin to get beat up compared to the rest of the market. They're doing like everything they can to just coin as much as possible. And it looks like we actually came back into the zone that I've been looking at. Like I've said on other coins, wait for this to come back lower, sweep that, and then maybe even do something like this. But yeah, but this is a pretty tiered, then it will be a pretty nice reaccumulation schematic. Yeah, this would be a pretty nice accumulation schematic. Accumulation schematic. 1239. Images. Take it out the way. I'm looking for this kind of gonna look very similar to with maybe it's something I will be taking, and the next TP, long term TP. I have a couple areas. I have one right here, and then another one. So, definitely will be looking at for BNB. So as of now, I'm just and see what alts want to do next. So a lot of my biases have been really consistent for the liquidity sweep. Wait to see how far down wants to just simply find a setup there. What I simply aligns with the rest of the market, which is a good thing. It should be a good thing. I know there's some opportunities. Oh, so I have to wait even longer. But as far as whether you're a intrader, trader, swing trader, finding these huge moves, it just pays off when you're just patient and just BTC. But yeah, I mean, like I know Jim Cramer's been tweeting about it. I think like the recent one that is 3K or something like that, like whether we hold the line at these is. I think it did. I think it dropped at 73. Something about 73. We hold the line here, but if you guys know already, what he does or what he says to you guys to if he gives advice, so we'll go up, buy it.